welcome back again. I'm sitting here with Brett Cloutier, winter sports analyst for Augsburg College, and Keith Bateman, head Augsburg baseball coach. I'm Mike Gallagher. We're here after breaking down catchers last week. We're talking about infielders this week. I mean, Coach, obviously, I was talking to Tom Pearson today, one of your first basemen. He said he expects to start at shortstop this year. So I don't know exactly how you're feeling about that, but I do know you have 4 starters returning. Eric Olson at second, Don Blunt at short, Mason Holmquist at third, and Joe Pierce at first. Very strong group. All had very good numbers last year. So tell us about the starters and what you expect from them this year.
Well, I think that what's nice is having that familiarity in the infield back again this year, and not just whether it's defensively and then offensively. They all had some pretty solid years, but it's little things when you have guys like that. They know where each other's going to be. They kind of can sense things. They communicate a little bit better on the field, being a veteran group, and yeah, it's exciting to have them out there. I mean, they're leaders, and they kind of lead some of the young guys, some of the newer guys, and it's just a good group to have back. They're good guys to work with, and they work hard. It's always nice when kind of some of your top guys are your hard workers.
You talk about these new guys and the newcomers and the young guys coming in. The old saying is everyone's one play away from coming in. So if something was to happen with those stars, who are the guys that will step in and fill the void? Yeah,
well, we're a pretty athletic group there. I know we talked about catchers and them being pretty athletic in that. And if you look at our depth on the infield, I think if you go around at first base, whether it's a Tom Peterson or Sej Sejovic, who's they've both kind of come a long way here in the last couple of years. They look good in the fall, and we've had 2 practices so far, so kind of getting another look at them. Over at second base, I think one of the philosophies that we have here at Augsburg and that Pat is implementing is we want all of our infielders to be able to play every position. Just because, like you said, you never know, somebody could be a play away. We'd like them to be able to be athletic enough to play everywhere, but some of the second basemen that were on our 3-ball drill today, whether it was Lou LaChapelle, Dave Maddie, Nick Vavra, and Nicky's returning. Didn't get to throw a lot in the fall, but he's looked good so far. And then behind Donnie Blunt, you got a freshman like Craig Lynch, who's looked really good. Adrian Waters has kind of put himself on the map. He was pretty much a non-recruit kind of walk-on guy that's done a good job. And then over at third, Bobby Mansour did a good job there when he got his opportunities last year, and he was a high school shortstop, and we've kind of gotten Trent Anderson a little bit of work there, and he's obviously kind of more of a catcher, and then Adam Langer's coming off of the Tommy John surgery, and he's kind of pitched a position player guy. So I mean, kind of got a lot of guys that way. But just guys that really work hard, and what's really been impressive is when they were doing their dailies today, to see where it was in the fall, and to see where they were today. I mean, it was fun to watch.
So Tom Peterson, you heard it from Keith Bateman's mouth. You got to be ready to play any position. So shortstop's in the cards. Be careful what you ask for.
You're not playing short, Tom. You're not playing short.
So you talked about everyone, basically went down the list, but let's focus on those newcomers you mentioned, Adrian, Lou, Craig. Obviously a very solid group. A few more guys than catchers. So, talk about what you've seen from them in the first couple days and what you really expect from them going forward.
Yeah, what's really been cool is the way that our veterans treat kind of the newer players or the young guys, however you want to say that. They've done a very good job of accepting them and critiquing them and kind of showing them this is how we do things at Augsburg College. And to the guys' credit, some of the young players, once again, Lou LaChapelle or Craig Lynch, is that they really have taken that upon themselves as this is the way that I want to play baseball. And so that's where those guys they don't really carry themselves kind of like some freshmen will, when they kind of starry-eyed and they're just following along wherever anybody goes. And I think that says something about their abilities as players, but also as the upperclassmen see them as making our team stronger, not so much competition to take their positions.
We talked last week about Craig Henry coming back, just starting catcher, and how that was almost seemingly a lock, unless obviously you made the point that unless he obviously got horrible or something. But would you say, returning 4 stars and guys like Donnie Blunt, Joe Pierce, Eric Olson, and Mason Holmquist, would you say this is your strongest returning position base in your field?
Yeah, I guess I think I would say that because of the the amount of games that they all had at those positions last year. I think that the depth that we have, once again, at each position doesn't guarantee anybody. You know, we're kind of always talk about that, where you know, there's some guys that are pushing them, and so, you know, Goose does a good job once again over at third base, and you know, I think Lou has looked really good, and so has Lyncher, and Dave Matty's looked well, and so yeah, it's kind of anybody's ball game, but you kind of look at the guys that got the majority of the playing time in the at-bats last year, and it's a veteran group, man. I mean, they play a lot of games.
You have 3 captains in the infield. 2 of them got press in Collegiate Baseball magazine, as we were talking about earlier. So, obviously, with so much talent and so much performance going into this year, what are your overall expectations? And maybe not even so much with the starters, although them too, but maybe on your reserve squad as well, and with guys that you hope to step in and really see something from, and guys that really want to prove themselves.
Well, I think what we want is kind of what we talk about in our overall, kind of the overall way to play Augsburg baseball is consistency and just kind of focusing on the process. You know, yeah, you always want to see gaudy numbers and all that, you know, the great diving plays and such, but you know, I want consistency from the guys, and I want them to be excited about going out and playing baseball every day, and excited about fielding the ball, throwing it over to first, and just having quality at bats. And so, as a group, you kind of watch them from afar and work with them in the cage, but you know, watching those guys go through their dailies, and some of these guys have done dailies for years, and just kind of the hop in their step they have, and the seriousness at which they do it is, you know, it's fun to watch. And so that's what I kind of expect from those guys, is to keep having that energy and to keep kind of focusing on just playing good baseball. And then you just, once again, you know, like we talked about the catchers, then you just throw the ball out there and kind of see what ends up happening.
Granted, you're only 6-7 hours of practice time into this season, but what have you seen so far from the infielders as a whole, but as a whole team as well? Has the camaraderie been there? How have the guys been for the first couple of practices?
Yeah, it's been great. I kind of feel like I'm a Johnny-come-lately, because it just seems like everybody's been on a roll, getting stuff done in the off season, you know, and here we come in, and guys are ready to go. I'd say it's probably one of the more advanced teams we've had at being ready to roll on February 1st, which kind of seems like we've had to not put the brakes on, but make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. So, you know, it's been an exciting time to be in Augie, and I think that with things like, I mean, the video stuff that you guys are doing, and the practice preparation that the assistant coaches have, it's just, there's a lot of energy, man. I mean, we did a midnight practice, and you know, guys were geeked for that, and so it was really it's been great so far.
Absolutely. Keith Bateman, appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Brett, thanks.
We'll be back here next week to discuss the outfield position. I won't be here. Brett will be here to discuss it because I am an outfielder, so that wouldn't make much sense. You can't have Keith saying anything about me while I'm here, right? So we'll see you next week. Appreciate it again, Coach. Good luck with your first full week of practice, and we'll be back here next week to talk about